Welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be diving in again.
So today is August 1st, day 213 in the year.
Wow, yeah. More than halfway through.
Exactly. It really feels like a significant point, doesn't it? A moment to kind of pause and reflect where we've been, where we're going.
A natural pivot point.
Right. And it got me thinking about this, well, this really profound question. What if becoming your best self, your most, effective self?
Mm-hmm.
What if it isn't about changing who you are,
Okay.
but more about revealing who you've actually always been, deep down?
I see where you're going. Uncovering versus reinventing.
Precisely. That's the core idea we're exploring today. This whole deep dive is about authentic transformation. That journey to living as your true self, without all the masks and expectations.
And for this specific dive, we've pulled together quite a rich collection of sources, haven't we? A real mix of thinkers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for day 213, we're looking at wisdom from all over. We've got Stephen Pressfield, modern insights. Then Mahatma Gandhi, obviously transformative leadership. And Leo Tolstoy's Calendar of Wisdom, which is amazing because it includes figures like Epictetus, the Stoic, and Diogenes, the Cynic. Ancient wisdom right there.
Such a powerhouse collection in itself.
It really is. Plus, we have Ralph Waldo Emerson, American Transcendentalism, then James Oppenheim, William Arthur Ward, maybe simpler poetic insights, Anthony Douglas Williams for contemporary clarity, and Nassim Nicholas Taleb bringing that pragmatic, almost anti-fragile perspective.
It's a really diverse group.
It is. And our mission today really is to pull out the core threads on self-discovery, on discipline, and importantly, on true freedom from all these voices. We want to help you, the listener, understand not just what they said, but, why it actually matters for your own life right now.
Regardless of where you are in your journey.
Exactly. These truths about being authentic, they seem to just resonate across time, across different life stages. It's quite remarkable.
Okay, so let's really dig into this. We're not just going to list quotes here.
No, definitely not.
We want to uncover some maybe surprising connections, some real aha moments, and really focus on how these big ideas, some ancient, some modern, aren't just philosophy on a shelf.
Right. How they plug into daily life.
Exactly. How they're practical, how they're relevant for you right now in the choices you make every day, connecting the big picture thinkers to, your own decisions.
Yeah, it's about seeing these not just as intellectual concepts, but as actual blueprints for building a life that feels authentic, resilient, and truly free.
The unveiling of character, Michael's moment.
Okay, so to kick things off, let's dive into a really iconic movie moment. Stephen Pressfield,
Yeah.
Author of The War of Art, he analyzes this brilliantly. He calls it Michael's moment from The Godfather.
Yes.
And
Opal's masterpiece, a pivotal scene.
Absolutely. Now, think back to the beginning of that film. How is Michael Corleone presented? Pressfield points out he's shown as, quote, at best, a minor player.
Right. The war hero, the college kid.
Exactly. The decorated Marine captain, just back from the war, he has these civilian dreams. He's deliberately kept separate from the family business, the dark side.
Shielded.
Totally shielded. We see him with Kay. His fiancée Pressfield calls her innocent non-family. They're planning a different kind of life. That's the setup. That's how we, the audience, and everyone in the movie sees Michael initially.
The outsider, the good son.
Right.
Yeah.
But then comes this incredible shift. Pressfield describes how in 90 seconds of screen time, everything we thought we knew just gets completely overturned.
It's a stunning reversal.
It really is. It basically defines the entire trajectory of the film.
And what Pressfield really digs into there, what makes it so powerful, is his idea of narrative inevitability.
Okay, tell me more about that. It sounds important.
It is. It's not just a plot twist thrown in for shock value.
Yeah.
It's this deep feeling that what happens, well, it had to happen. It was sort of baked into Michael's character all along.
So not fate, but character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Pressfield is really clear on this. This inevitability, it doesn't come from outside, like the writer just deciding it. It emerges, he says, from the depths of character.
Ah, okay. That's a huge distinction.
It is, because it means Michael isn't becoming someone totally new in those 90 seconds. It's more like the circumstances, the crisis, his father being shot,
Yeah.
the family being vulnerable. They strip away all the protection, all the pretense.
The civilian identity he was trying to hold on to.
Right. And it forces him to confront and actually embrace his true nature, a nature that maybe even he didn't fully recognize or perhaps was actively suppressing.
Wow. So it's an unveiling, forced by pressure.
Precisely. An unveiling, not a creation.
That's fascinating. Because it implies his true self was just dormant, waiting.
Or perhaps just waiting for the right, or maybe the wrong, circumstances to call it forth.
Okay, so let's bring this to you, the listener. This has huge implications for our own lives, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Think about the pressures you face. Big challenges, crises maybe. How often do they act like that? Stripping away the roles we play, the expectations.
Even the stories we tell ourselves about who we are.
Exactly. Those moments force us to see what's really underneath. Have you ever been in a tough spot, like a crazy deadline, a really difficult conversation, an unexpected failure, and you just acted with a strength or clarity you didn't know you had?
Surprising yourself.
Yeah. That's your Michael's moment right there. It's when the real you steps up because it has to.
Those are crucible moments. They burn away the superficial stuff. They show you what you're really made of when the comforts are gone, and it's just you, your core.
And speaking of revelations and how the world reacts, this connects really well to Mahatma Gandhi's famous observation, that pattern. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, then you win.
Yes, a classic pattern of resistance and change.
Let's apply that directly to Michael. At the start of The Godfather, wasn't he basically ignored by the family power structure?
Completely. He was the kid brother, the civilian, irrelevant to the business.
Dismissed as too soft, maybe too Americanized, not cut out for it.
Right. They probably thought he couldn't handle it. Or maybe even that he shouldn't.
But then the crisis hits. His father's down. Michael steps up with that audacious plan to take out Sollozzo and the police captain.
Yeah.
Suddenly, they're not ignoring him anymore.
No, definitely not. Maybe then comes the lapping stage, like, who does this college kid think he is? The sheer audacity.
And then, very quickly, the fighting stage. They see he's a real threat. They try to stop him.
And ultimately,
Ultimately, he wins. He takes control. It was only when the crisis demanded his true, maybe ruthless nature that people finally saw what was there all along, hidden in plain sight.
that's a fantastic application. And it shows how universal that pattern is. Gandhi saw it in political struggle, but it applies to almost any process of genuine self-emergence, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, when you start living from your deepest truth, expressing your authentic self, especially if that self challenges the status quo, the world often reacts in those stages.
Ignore, laugh, fight.
Exactly. That initial dismissal, that resistance, it becomes a kind of crucible. It forces you to choose. Do you back down, go back to fitting in? Or do you dig deep, find the strength to stand by your convictions, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you're misunderstood?
Give me an example, like in everyday life.
Okay, maybe you want to start something new at work, something innovative that disrupts the old way of doing things. At first, maybe people just ignore your idea. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, polite dismissal.
Then maybe they laugh. That'll never work here. Then, if you push it, show it as merit, you might get active resistance. People fighting to keep things the way they are.
Right, protecting their perf.
But if you stick with it because you know it's right, because it's authentic to your vision, eventually you might win. And that win isn't just about the idea being adopted. It's about validating your own authentic insight. That persistence is part of realizing yourself.
That makes so much sense. It's not just about being stubborn. It's about holding on to your truth when it's tested.
Precisely.
So, understanding this unveiling of character and these stages of how the world reacts, it's more than just interesting analysis. It feels foundational. Foundational for understanding how we navigate the world and find our own freedom.
It absolutely sets the stage. And that idea of freedom leads us perfectly into our next section, looking at the philosophy behind it.
The philosophy of true freedom.
Right. So building on that foundation of character, let's shift gears slightly and look at the philosophy underpinning this transformation. Leo Tolstoy's Calendar of Wisdom is just invaluable here.
Okay. What does Tolstoy bring to the table?
He offers this critical framework for understanding internal transformation and real liberation. He puts it very clearly. The intellect can liberate a person. The less of an intellectual life one has, the less liberated one is.
Intellect liberates. Interesting. What does he mean by intellect here? Just being smart, book learning?
Not exactly. It's deeper than that. It's not just about accumulating facts. It's more about clear seeing, discernment, the ability to really distinguish between what's truly in your control, your thoughts, your choices, your responses, and what's absolutely not.
Like Stoic philosophy. Control what you can control.
Very much in that vein. It's about developing the mental clarity to see through illusions, through social conditioning, through your own impulses. Without that kind of intellectual rigor, Tolstoy suggests we're just blown about, enslaved by things we don't even realize are controlling us.
That clarity of thought is a kind of freedom, isn't it? Freedom from confusion, from being manipulated.
Exactly. And this idea gets taken to its most, well, extreme and powerful conclusion in a passage Tolstoy includes from Epictetus, relaying a message from Diogenes the Cynic.
Diogenes, the guy who lived in a barrel.
That's the one, known for his radical self-sufficiency. He apparently sent a message to the Persian king, basically saying, you cannot enslave truly free people just as you cannot enslave a fish.
Wow. What does that mean?
He continues, you may capture them, but you cannot force them to serve. They prefer to die as captives. So what would it profit you to imprison them?
Okay, that's intense.
It is. It's the ultimate statement of authentic selfhood, isn't it? It's about having an inner core that is absolutely unshakable. The willingness to choose your truth, your principles over comfort, over convenience, even over life itself.
You can chain my body, but not my mind.
Precisely. Diogenes is saying his freedom is internal, untouchable by external force. And here's where it gets really interesting for you, listening. This forces you to ask, what are your non-negotiables? What truths, what values are so core to your being that you wouldn't compromise them, no matter the pressure? What would you metaphorically die as captives for, rather than betray?
That's a deeply challenging question. What defines that inner core of freedom for each of us?
It is. It's confrontational almost. And Tolstoy builds on this, offering another crucial piece. Freedom cannot be achieved by looking for it, but in looking for truth.
Okay, unpack that. Freedom isn't the goal.
Not directly. He says freedom should not be a purpose, but a consequence. And then crucially, freedom cannot be granted to you by others. Each person can liberate only himself.
Wow. Lots to break down there.
Right. First, freedom isn't something you just get. It's not handed over. You have to earn it internally.
Okay.
Second, the real aim isn't freedom itself. It's truth. Pursue truth in your thoughts, your actions, how you see the world, and freedom follows naturally. It's a byproduct of living authentically, living with integrity.
Like a side effect of being true.
Exactly. And third, maybe the toughest part. Nobody else can do it for you. Liberation is a DIY project. Only you can break the chains, internal or external, that hold you back.
That self-reliance theme is powerful, and it makes me think of Emerson.
How so?
Well, Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "The only way to have a friend is to be one." It sounds simple, but it feels connected.
That's a brilliant connection. How do you see them relating?
Both statements, Tolstoy on freedom, Emerson on friendship, seem to point to the same core idea. Authenticity can't be faked. It can't be forced or demanded from the outside.
It has to come from within.
Right. You can't make someone be your real friend any more than you can make yourself truly free just by wishing for it. Both freedom and friendship seem to emerge from how you are internally, from your own actions, your own commitment to being genuine.
Lived from the inside out. That's beautifully put. It's about self-reliance in the deepest possible sense. You're the agent of your own liberation, the architect of your own connections.
It's a powerful philosophical basis. It makes it clear that this isn't about finding something out there, but cultivating something in here.
Precisely. It's not an external quest, but an internal expression. Which leads us neatly into how this philosophy plays out in our actions and relationships.
Love, wisdom, and discipline in action.
Okay, so we have this strong philosophical grounding. How does it translate into, the real world? Our relationships, our choices. Let's talk about love and discipline.
Right. And specifically, let's introduce the concept of agape love.
Agape. That's different from, like, romantic love or brotherly love.
Yes. It's often defined as willing the good of the other. A deep, often challenging kind of love. And crucially, it includes the idea of tough love.
Tough love. That adds a layer of complexity.
It really does. It brings a moral depth to this whole discussion of authentic transformation. Because sometimes, maybe often, the most loving thing you can do for someone else, or even for yourself, is to refuse to go along with comfortable illusions. Refuse to enable destructive patterns.
So it's not about always being nice. It's about being genuinely helpful, even if it's hard.
Exactly. It takes courage because it often means risking disapproval in the short term for the sake of someone's long-term well-being or truth.
Can we connect this back to Michael Corleone? His family tried to love him by shielding him, right?
They did. Their intention was protective love, keep him safe, keep him out of the darkness. But ironically, the circumstances, his own nature demanded he step into that darkness. Their initial form of love was challenged by his deeper reality. Was letting him step into his true, albeit dangerous, nature ultimately a form of agape, even if unintentional? It's complex.
Wow. Okay, let's make it more personal for the listener. How does agape play out day to day?
Well, imagine a friend is making bad choices, maybe wants you to cover for them or join in. Agape love might mean saying, look, I care about you, but I can't support this. I think it's harmful, instead of just going along to keep the peace.
That's definitely tough. It risks the friendship, maybe.
It can. Or think about self-love. If you know a certain habit or pattern is holding you back, self-agape might mean imposing strict discipline on yourself, saying no to the easy, comfortable thing because you genuinely will your own good, your own integrity, your own growth.
Choosing what's right over what's easy because you value the long-term truth.
Precisely. It's love in action, focused on ultimate well-being.
That idea of focusing on what's truly beneficial brings to mind another quote, this one from James Oppenheim, the poet. The foolish man seeks happiness in the distance, the wise grows it under his feet.
Oh, that's beautiful and so relevant here.
How does it connect to authentic transformation for you?
It says that genuine happiness, true fulfillment, it's not about chasing some future ideal self or waiting for external circumstances to be perfect. It's not out there.
So it's here and now.
Exactly. It's about fully inhabiting who you already are, right here, right now, with all the messiness, all the responsibilities that come with it. Happiness is something you cultivate where you stand, by aligning your present actions with your true self.
Growing it under your feet, not waiting for a delivery.
Precisely. The implication for you listening is profound. Stop postponing joy. Start creating happiness now by choosing authenticity in this moment. Contentment comes from that internal coherence, living in sync with your core. It's not dependent on achieving the next big thing.
And that cultivation, that growing happiness,
Yeah.
it implies effort, doesn't it? It's not passive.
Absolutely not. Which leads us directly to William Arthur Ward. He puts it very plainly, very practically. The price of excellence is discipline. The cost of mediocrity is disappointment.
Oof, no pulling punches there.
None at all. Let's break it down. If you want to be truly excellent at anything, a skill, a relationship, living authentically, you have to pay the price. And that price is discipline. Consistent practice, hard work, dedication, doing the reps, even when you don't feel like it.
Okay. And the flip side.
The flip side is settling for good enough for mediocrity. And the cost of that choice, Ward says, is disappointment. Not just maybe failing, but the deeper disappointment of knowing you didn't really try, knowing you didn't live up to your potential.
That resonates. Think about like learning an instrument or a sport.
Perfect example. Like the source mentions learning to ride a bike. It's scary at first. You fall. Discipline is getting back on, practicing every day. Excellence is zooming around confidently. Mediocrity is giving up after a few tries. And disappointment is never feeling that freedom.
So discipline is the engine of excellence, and avoiding it leads to regret.
Essentially, yes. And this theme of disciplined conscious choice is echoed in some ancient Chinese wisdom found in Tolstoy's collection.
What does it say?
If you wish to do no evil, then there is not a single good deed which you cannot do.
How does that connect to Ward?
Both point to the power of intention aligned with action. Ward says excellence requires disciplined action. This wisdom says that if your intention is truly set on good, or avoiding evil, then disciplined action towards any good deed becomes possible. It implies that our capacity for good is vast, limited primarily by our will, our disciplined choice.
So authentic living, whether pursuing excellence or goodness, isn't accidental. It requires deliberate, focused effort.
Exactly. You don't drift into being your best self. You choose it, and then you practice it consistently.
This makes me think about the difference between just knowing something is good or right and actually living it.
Which brings us perfectly to Anthony Douglas Williams's point. Knowledge comes from learning. Wisdom comes from living.
Okay, let's clarify that difference. Knowledge versus wisdom.
Knowledge is the what. It's facts, information, concepts. You learn 2 + 2 is 4. You learn that honesty is a virtue. That's knowledge.
Got it. Stuff you read in a book.
Right. Wisdom is the how and the why learned through experience. It's applying that knowledge in the real world, messing up, learning, understanding the nuances. You might know honesty is good, but wisdom comes from experiencing the consequences of being honest when it was difficult or dishonest when it was easy, and truly understanding the impact on yourself and others at a deeper level.
So wisdom is embodied knowledge, earned through living.
Exactly. The transformation from knowing to wisdom happens through that disciplined practice of living according to what you understand. You integrate the knowledge into your being through action.
Okay, this is all building towards a very practical path, isn't
Yeah.
it? Away from abstract ideas and towards daily life.
Precisely. It's about how we embody these principles, which leads us to heroes and habits.
Heroes and habits, the practical path.
Right, so let's connect all these threads, character unveiling, true freedom, love, discipline, wisdom, directly to our everyday choices. How do we actually live this?
And Nassim Nicholas Taleb offers a really potent insight here, one that cuts through a lot of noise. Heroes are heroes because they are heroic in behavior, not because they won or lost.
Okay, that lands powerfully after everything we've discussed. Heroic behavior, not outcomes.
Exactly. It circles back beautifully. True greatness, real heroism, isn't about the final score. It's not about whether you get the promotion, win the argument, or achieve the big goal in the eyes of the world.
So what is it about then?
It's about the consistency of your choices, choosing to act from your highest principles, your deepest understanding of what's right, regardless of the outcome, regardless of recognition or reward.
So what does heroic behavior look like in, normal life for the listener?
It's the small things, done consistently. It's choosing kindness when someone else is being cruel. It's telling the truth when a lie would be easier or more beneficial.
Yeah.
It's helping someone when nobody's looking and you get absolutely nothing tangible back.
It's the integrity of the action itself.
Yes, that's the quiet, everyday heroism that builds a meaningful life. It's within everyone's reach.
That really reframes heroism. It's not about capes and saving the world in one go. It's about daily choices.
Exactly. And that brings us to the final piece of wisdom, which is incredibly practical. You are ruled by your habits.
Oh, yeah. Habits. They run so much of our lives.
They really do. The quote continues. It takes a habit to replace a habit. Develop positive habits that will be of service to your purpose or goal.
Okay. We all know habits are powerful. Brushing teeth, driving a familiar route, often automatic.
Right. But the key insight here is that you can consciously design and install new habits. It's not just something that happens to you.
So taking control of the automatic pilot.
Pretty much. If you want to be, say, more grateful, you can create a habit of writing down 3 things you're grateful for every morning. At first, it feels forced, like discipline.
Got to remember to do it.
But if you stick with it, eventually noticing things to be grateful for starts to become more automatic. It changes your default perspective. The habit serves the goal of becoming a more grateful person.
And this links back to transformation. How?
Because we literally become what we repeatedly do.
Yeah.
Our character is sculpted by our habits. That heroism Taleb talks about, it doesn't just appear in a crisis. It's built, habit by habit, through the daily discipline of choosing the better action, the truer response.
It's the compound interest of small, good choices.
Beautifully put. That's exactly it.
So, bringing it all back,
Yeah.
here we are, August 1st, day 213.
A moment to take stock.
And maybe see August as, a catalyst.
Perhaps a time for some honest self-assessment, definitely. And for committed action based on that assessment. We've seen how, like Michael Corleone, circumstances might force us to confront parts of ourselves we've kept hidden.
Right. The unveiling.
We've seen how, like Gandhi's pattern suggests, our authentic truth might be ignored or fought against initially, requiring persistence.
Ignore, laugh, fight, win.
And we've seen how, like Diogenes reminds us, true freedom might demand we choose inner integrity over outer comfort.
Choosing truth, even when it costs something.
And through it all, the core message seems consistent. Authentic transformation isn't about becoming someone different. It's about having the courage and, crucially, the discipline to fully step into who you've actually been all along.
Stripping away the stuff that isn't really you.
Exactly. In a world that often pushes conformity, finding and living that authenticity is, well, it's the great challenge, isn't it? But also the most rewarding one. Outro.
So let's quickly recap this journey. We started with Michael Corleone, seeing how character isn't made but revealed under pressure.
The unveiling.
Then we explored how true freedom isn't the goal itself, but a consequence of relentlessly pursuing truth. Earned, not given.
Liberating yourself through intellectual clarity and integrity.
We talked about agape love, that tough love that wills the good, and how wisdom requires discipline, the price of excellence.
Growing happiness under your feet, not chasing it in the distance.
And finally, we landed on heroism being about consistent, principled behavior built through the power of positive habits.
Small choices, compounded daily.
And the main takeaway for you, listening, you are the hero of your own story, just like Michael, in his own way. And the best part, You don't need anyone's permission to start being that hero.
No waiting required.
None. Not until you're older or richer or ready. You can start right now, today, by making one good choice, one authentic choice at a time.
And as we head into August, maybe think about that other quote we touched on. The best investments are in things that provide us the most amount of energy for the lowest cost.
Okay. How does that apply here?
Well, maybe the ultimate high-yield investment, the one giving the most sustainable energy for the effort, is exactly this: the daily practice of authentic living.
Investing in being true to yourself.
Right. Trusting that the discipline you exert today, the small acts of courage, the difficult truths embraced, that investment will compound. It'll grow into the freedom and integrity you're seeking down the line.
Yeah. So the final thought to leave you with
Is this: what single brave choice, however small it feels, can you make today, right now? A choice that moves you just one step closer to fully being the hero you've always had the potential to be.
something to really sit with. Thank you for diving deep with us today.
Always a pleasure.
Keep exploring these ideas, keep questioning, and keep becoming the truest version of yourself. Until next time.